Welcome to my second Allies mix match, this time against Jorikke. Let's take a look at what we've got going on in this kingdom. The only trashing appears to be Sauna Silver. And there is Marauder, although I don't really want to play with Marauder, so I'm probably not gonna. You can mid-turn trash with Courier for whatever that's worth. That's something. You can find your couriers a little bit faster. Ferry and Transport are both quite interesting. Ferry on the Sauna pile. Ferry on the Sauna pile does some interesting things, right? Because you can Carpenter gain Saunas later on. I think I'm going to go Silver Carpenter. And then slam the Saunas after that. You can also, if you hit 3, like Transport a Sauna. You just have to be slightly careful that you don't leave them stuck in exile. I think Silver Carpenter maybe get in early, get some courier, get some early couriers. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Silver Carpenter. This is a pretty bad 5-2. I guess you take Treasury Settlers and be unhappy about it. This is a weird 6 now too. My next hand is not going to be super good. I think I just take a Sauna now at 6 and be a little bit sad about it. And this is fine. I can take second Sauna, take a Settlers. Settlers is going to be a fine card here. I mean, it's slightly better than nothing, especially if you draw it on the second turn of the shuffle. I have a tendency to draw all my Settlers at the top of my shuffle and it do nothing, or at the very bottom when they miss. But they're going to be fine. Take a Sauna, take a Settlers. Yeah, so we really hope to see the Silver here. To trash. We can start grabbing some couriers now as well. Couriers should help us line the Sauna Settler stuff up as well. Again, assuming you don't see the courier at the top of the shuffle. Okay, great. So I can get the last Sauna, and I can put Ferry on Avanto. Do I want to do that? What do I have down there? I have down there 2 estates and 5 coppers and a Sauna. So it's basically impossible for me to hit 5 next turn. So I think I'm going to transport the Avanto, and then I'll be able to top deck it next turn with a Sauna down there in those 3. That worked out well. Yeah, if I'm not hitting 5, if I thought I might hit 5, I would certainly ferry it. No, I mean, I guess you transport it no matter what. Yeah, I guess you transport it. I could have ferried it and then bought 1 if I hit 5. But I guess I could have transported 1. I could ferry now 2, but I think just putting it on top of the deck is going to be too strong into this shuffle. And I'm able to find it because I knew I had a Sauna down there. I knew I had a Avanto down there. So hopefully find my Silver here. Maybe start to gain some couriers. Cities are going to be labs almost immediately. So maybe ferrying City is my next play. Carpenter's going to stop being a gainer and it's going to be a remodeler soon. So a little bit of pressure for me to use my Silvers to trash coppers since Carpenter's about to be a remodeler and not much you can do with coppers other than turn them into like Settlers. And yeah, we can turn estates into couriers and fortresses and stuff. Yeah, I did collide Sauna Silver on turn. I didn't buy open with Sauna. Yeah, I did collide Sauna Silver the first time I had a Sauna Silver in the deck, which is nice. So if I were them, I would transport. I thought they have the Carpenter coming up, so ferrying makes sense. Unless they meant to transport. It's essentially impossible for me to gain 2 Avantos here. Yeah, it's basically impossible for them to miss 3, I think. Okay, this was not super desirable. I bottom decked Sauna, Estate, 2 Silvers, Settlers. Okay, not terrible. I'll be able to play the Settlers, get a copper next turn. So this could be Courier or Fortress are my choices here. I guess Carpenter Fortress is a little combo, isn't it? And it lets me play Avantos. So I'm going to grab this Fortress here and grab an Avanto, and I am going to trigger this shuffle. Next turn, probably. Yeah, so I can trash with my silver. It's a pretty decent shuffle with 2 Saunas, 2 Avantos, Fortress, Carpenter in there. So I'm pretty sure they're going to hit 5 here and take the last 2 Avantos. And then the Carpenters now remodel and maybe put Ferry on City, and then I can remodel estates into cities. If you Ferry like Courier, then I could remodel Coppers into Couriers. So maybe that's a decent thought. The Courier Sauna Avanto stuff, you can kind of, if you have an Avanto, you can get it with the Courier stuff. But yeah, somehow, okay, we're always taking copper. We draw. Yeah, so those 10 cards, I have 2 estates, 3 coppers, 2 saunas. Yeah, you can see it right here. Except I drew a copper. So yeah, 4 coppers estate. Sorry, 3 coppers estate. Fortress, 2 saunas. So it's going to be a nice next turn. And I'm going to trash coppers now because I think I can get more out of carpentering. But now I have to decide if I want a city or something else. One city seems reasonable. Transporting city also seems really reasonable. I'm sorry, ferrying city also seems really reasonable. I can start to carpenter remodel estates into cities. But maybe there's not, and like maybe we just carpenter remodel fortresses into cities. So I think I'm just going to take a city here rather than ferry it. And hopefully draw one of my 2 Avantos or Fortress here. I guess I have, yeah. The Fortress doesn't count, so 2 out of... actually there's only 1 stop card left in this pile. There's a copper left in this pile, so I just have to find an Avanto before I find a copper. Nice. And... yeah, I've got my silver down there. I kind of did that in the wrong order, but it does not matter too much because I had enough actions. So yeah, down there is Sauna, Copper City. So that's a pretty nice start. Courier, I guess. I can also start to consider like Marauder type stuff, but I think getting a Courier is going to give me a little bit more deck control. And I want to start carpentering. Maybe just take another Carpenter. Start carpentering this Fortress into stuff. So trash 2 coppers. We buy another city. Okay, I think I'm in good shape here. I have 1 more Sauna. They have 1 more Avanto. I have 1 more city. I have an extra Carpenter to their Treasury, and I have trashed quite a bit more. They're maybe just like a quarter turn behind, which is nice as second player, and maybe that's entirely due to the 5-2. I've trashed quite a bit more, but they're drawing deck here, so we'll see what they do. Yeah, the idea is to start carpentering Fortress into pieces, and then figure out a 3 pile, which is probably going to be cities and a 3rd pile. It could be even estates. Once like the cities run, you get plus coin, plus buy. Maybe need to inject a little bit of money into the deck. So that's something to figure out. Couriers are not super money dense. And now that they're drawing deck, giving them Marauder seems worse than just getting a gold, I think. I, in theory, should have some amount of overdraw here. But I think I'm going to try to carpenter like coppers into settlers and then settlers into something else that's a little bit slow. But do they not want to trash coppers? Do they not want to trash coppers? Do you not want to trash Sauna? Oh, they did trash. They trashed copper and estate. Okay. I don't like trashing. Okay. We just barely got there, but we did get there. Okay, cool. So I can Carpenter trash this fortress into something. I wonder if I want to just take a couple of skirmishers. So I can Carpenter trash fortress into skirmisher, play it. Carpenter trash estate into like another Carpenter. Buy a skirmisher. Like the discard attack might be a little bit annoying. They might just also discard estates. So I'm going to just take a gold here. I'm going to get thin so I can do shenanigans. So Carpenter trash fortress into something I can play. Which should be like a gold or just another city. I should take another Carpenter probably, right? And play the city. And now I can Carpenter trash this estate into like a Courier. Courier seems like it should be. Seems completely useless, actually, the more I think of it. So if I take the Marauder, I can draw it and play it. And then what am I trashing? My second Carpenter feels silly. Just take another fortress to give me a fortress, and then trash one copper by a city. Okay, so fortress. I can go now into like skirmisher, I guess, just to have it, and then if I want to do the attack next turn, I can also just take the gold. Perhaps I'm going to need the gold. And I want to get rid of all these coppers so that I can do this same kind of stuff again in spinning. And like guarantee to draw. 3 cities, 2 Avantos basically draws me the deck. I can only play 1 fortress, I guess. I need to trash. I can actually play a fortress, then trash the fortress, then play the other fortress if I need to for draw. Having the gold is nice because I can turn it into apologies, the microphone is a little bit far away from me. I've adjusted it now. Having the gold is nice because I can turn it into a province if I need to for points. They seem to be, for lack of a better term, copying me, or we'll say adopting a similar plan with their carpenters. They do have a little bit more draw because the Sauna thing, I have a little bit more actions if I draw my Sauna in the right order. This is actually a pretty bad starting shuffle for me of 5 cards, especially given that I'm quite a bit thinner. Like, I have enough draw, but if there are 3 cities and 2 Avantos and they're nearish the bottom, then I lose out on some actions. They need to be worried here that I can't win next turn. I have 3 Carpenters. I can empty the Carpenters and then cities activate. So like 3 Carpenters gain 3 Carpenters, and then 3 Carpenters gain 3 cities, and then buy the last 2 cities, something like that. Like, does not seem impossible with best draw for me. I do need to find cities and Avantos in the right order, I think, for that to happen. I basically need to play Sonavanto, Sonavanto, Sonavanto for that to work. And it's not super looking like it's going to happen unless I draw an Avanto in the top 2. Ideally, I would play Sonavanto, Sonavanto, Sauna at the start of the turn. Then I would have 3 actions and could start doing stuff. If I don't find the Avantos until later in the shuffle, or I find like the cities and I play the cities first, then I potentially lose out on some of the coins and buys that I could get in the other line. And then I just need to like double province and hope that they can't beat that. Coppers to Settlers does not feel like it is needed. I have 4 Carpenters. They're going to go Settlers into something else. I think you'd really much rather go Fortress into something. I guess they needed to play this Fortress. And this is their last action, so They should have probably, instead of the 4th Carpenter, gained another fortress, and then instead of trashing a copper to settlers, they could trash the fortress into something. Okay, they really lowered piles here, though. Fortress. Okay, the settlers does not do anything. We'll play 1 city. Sauna. Come on, Avantos. Sauna. Vanto. Sauna. Vanto? I think actions are more limiting to me than draw here. Is that true? That can't be true. I have a city down there and another Carpenter. So, okay, so I'm starting with Carpenter Fortress into Carpenter, Carpenter Fortress into Carpenter. Play city. Play city. Carpenter Fortress into Carpenter. And then start taking cities after that. So I think I want to save the Avanto for later. Because I need to play 6 Carpenter plays, and I have 6 actions. I think this is right. Alright, so I do need to play the city now, though. Okay, so we play 3 Carpenters, turning fortresses into Carpenters. The 3 Carpenters, turning fortress into Carpenter. We play the city. Then we turn the rest of the fortresses into cities. Boy, I should count this out more than I am. Okay, so that city gave a coin buy. So now we can go fortress into city. And now we can play Avanto. City. Fortress into city. So play the fortress, play the city, city into city. Play the fortress, play the city, and now I go silver into city by city estate. Yeah. They lowered the piles by just a little much. I think with better draw order, that's easier for me. I bottom decked a bunch of Avantos, which made that harder. I think with better draw order, one more game from them. I don't know if they needed to score or what. That was just a tough one for them. I kind of stole first player advantage with my better opening. And we move on to game 2.